Treyarch Studios, popularly known for the Call of Duty Black Ops series, having popularized this compelling franchise, popularizing endless amounts of content creators over the many years they've been developing their takes on the franchise. Founded in 1996, Treyarch was known at the time for Olympic Hockey 98 for the N64 and other titles for Dreamcast and PlayStation. Activision acquired Treyarch in 2001. Treyarch went on to make games such as NHL 2K2, Spider-Man, and Triple Play Basketball. In 2005, everything changed when Treyarch developed Call of Duty 2 Big Red 1, a spin-off to Call of Duty 2. In 2006, Treyarch finished the development of Call of Duty 3, the third major installment in the Call of Duty franchise, which received major backlash from the community for feeling rushed and nothing compared to the first two installments. Treyarch went on to develop Spider-Man 3, Spider-Man Web of Shadows, and Quantum of Solace over the following year. In 2008, Treyarch got their big break when they released Call of Duty World at War, the fourth World War II installment in the franchise, which received major feedback, much better compared to the last game. Treyarch had stepped up their game with more time to develop their second major installment in the franchise. World at War featured a cinematic campaign following two main characters from the US Army and the Russian Army, adding a soundtrack that matches every mission and cutscene in the game. Multiplayer did feel like a copy and paste of Modern Warfare's multiplayer, but looking back at it, World at War has managed to stay known as the best World War II game in the franchise. Treyarch even added the iconic Zombies mode, which almost didn't happen at all. Treyarch took advantage of the new DLC cycle, adding 3 new Zombies maps to bring players back to their game mode. After the release of World at War, Treyarch maintained developing Call of Duty installments, releasing Call of Duty Black Ops in 2010. Black Ops featured one of the best campaign stories at the time following Modern Warfare 2. Black Ops campaign was told from a view we had never seen before, and it does fantastic. Treyarch added the game-changing additions to multiplayer with tons of new modes to explore, wager matches, where you can gamble your COD points on matches, which wasn't a bad concept back in the day. Treyarch introduced AI bots into multiplayer, allowing players to play with bots and a local play on different levels of difficulty to better themselves for online gameplay. Black Ops also brought Zombies back, with legendary maps and weapons added to one of the greatest Zombies installments at the time, taking the iconic World at War zombie story and expanding it, adding several unique Zombies bosses from Nova Crawls to George Romero, with optional Easter eggs included in the DLC maps, which became staples in Zombies. In 2012, Treyarch released Black Ops 2, which to this day is still one of the best Call of Duty installments. Black Ops 2 was a game changer, being the first game in the franchise to introduce us to a futuristic environment set in 2025. Black Ops 2 campaign introduced branching storylines to the campaign with multiple different endings to the game, taking us from the 80s to 2025. Treyarch tried their hand at the Strike Force missions, which were optional side missions that could differ the ending of the game. Multiplayer added several new mechanics, such as the Pick 10 system for weapon classes, score streaks, and party games we still love to this day. Black Ops 2 popularized trick shots, which was a trend before, but it was noticeably popular on YouTube in 2012. Black Ops 2 Zombies was 50-50, however, with Jimmy Zielinski, who had been the head of Zombies since World at War, ended up stepping down from the company, and Jason Blundell taking over halfway through the DLC cycle. Jimmy had big plans for Transit, one of the most hated Zombies maps in COD history. Transit was supposed to be a huge open-world Zombies map, but Jimmy was ahead of his time, with engines at the time not being able to properly run open-world games. Transit introduced building mechanics with players able to build tools and weapons to help them survive. Transit had to be fixed into the mess it is now, which led to the downfall of Jimmy's maps. Nuketown was actually a very fun map, super chaotic but fun at the end of the day. Nuketown connected Black Ops 2's storyline together with Black Ops 1's story. This is what spawned theories about where the timeline would go. Die Rise was super annoying, with the map forcing parkour on you, which could lead to your doom. With PhD Flopper discontinued after Black Ops 1, it seemed there was no point to even play Die Rise. Mob of the Dead was Blundell's first map project. As the head of the team, Mob of the Dead changed everything and brought the community back to Black Ops 2 Zombies. Mob of the Dead featured unique characters surviving on Alcatraz Island, adding tons of new building features to the map. Buried was Valinsky's final map, wrapping up the trilogy of Black Ops 2 maps he had created. Buried didn't add anything super new, but it was the best of the Transit trilogy, yet it was the easiest map of Black Ops 2 Zombies. Buried had a super challenging Easter egg, wrapping up Black Ops 1/Black Ops 2 storyline. Origins was the ultimate 4th DLC map. Origins changed the game, as we know it, bringing us a whole new story, with the old characters we know and love. Origins added the greatest Easter egg we had at the time, popularizing also solo Easter eggs gameplay, adding unique bosses and challenges into the game. Treyarch changed up the game in 2015 with Black Ops 3, the perfect response to Advanced Warfare. Black Ops 3 featured a disaster campaign, which compared to Treyarch's previous works, felt like a failure. Multiplayer was perfect, with the advanced system being toned down from Advanced Warfare, but just right for BO3. The only problem with multiplayer was the supply drop system, which chewed up players' bank accounts and drained them for contracts to obtain drops for new weapons and weapon remakes brought into the game. But these additions managed to bring players back to the game. Blundell stepped up zombies, introducing a new gobblegum system into the game. Along with weapon customization, Black Ops 3 Zombies followed the story from Origins, bringing in challenges into each of the 4 maps, along with Easter eggs following the storyline, and each map bringing unique wonder weapons to each map, excluding Revelations. Treyarch also took the reins further through 2016, as Infinity Ward's Infinite Warfare wasn't doing as well as planned. Treyarch continued to add challenges and weapons during this time to BO3's multiplayer to keep players returning to Black Ops 3. And at the end of the cycle, Blundell blew the community away with Zombies Chronicles, which was the most popular DLC and best-selling DLCs of its time. After the success of Black Ops 3, it seemed Treyarch's next installment would blow minds throughout the COD community. However, we were wrong. Black Ops 4 launched in 2018, being the first Call of Duty to not include a campaign mode. Instead, Black Ops 4 brought in a stressful multiplayer, which felt like BO3, just boots on the ground. Zombies was a huge failure, with 2 storylines being brought into the mix, with terrible remakes and uninteresting stories. Zombies wasn't what we expected after BO3. And finally, Blackout, Treyarch's attempt at a Battle Royale game mode in Call of Duty to counter Fortnite, which was the better game mode compared to others, and brought many players back to BO4 for the new game mode, popularizing Black Ops 4. In 2019, Treyarch was rumored to take over 2020's installment for Call of Duty, taking over for Sledgehammer. In 2020, we got Black Ops Cold War, which was well received compared to Black Ops 4. Cold War brought us back to the 80s with a highly anticipated campaign. Cold War brought us optional objectives and side tasks to do throughout the campaign. Although they don't do much to change the campaign's ending overall, the campaign had 3 different endings. Multiplayer brought us back iconic features, score streaks, and weapons from BO1 multiplayer. However, skill-based matchmaking stands in the way of Cold War being a super good multiplayer. For the most part, multiplayer is fun, adding a new score streak system, which is completely new and unique compared to what we were used to, having the same issues as BO4 with loads of classic maps brought back to the game and not as many unique maps. Cold War Zombies changed how we play zombies overall, which was looked down at in the beginning. D Machine, the first Cold War Zombies map, introduced us to new mechanics and features, from crafting equipment that helped players out down the road to score streaks being buyable. A new armor system was included, allowing players to purchase or pick up armor, upgrade, and repair said armor. The pack-a-punch system was switched up, allowing players to choose to purchase different attachments to add to their weapons, along with 3 different upgrades. Perks were one of the biggest changes, with players being able to upgrade perk colas to have different abilities to help through gameplay, adding new challenges to collect different types of crystals throughout the maps to unlock upgrades. The Machine was followed by Firebase Z, Outbreak, Mauer, and Forsaken, which were all very super amazing maps for Cold War Zombies. Outbreak being the most notably unique due to its open world system, along with objective-based game mode being added in, the first objective-based zombies map in Call of Duty history. In my opinion, moving forward, Treyarch should focus on their own installments, as they did assist Sledgehammer with the Zombies mode in Vanguard, which flopped. Treyarch had released some of the best games in the franchise, and I hope they could continue to make outstanding games in the future without the distraction of other companies and games.